On today's video, a brand new game mode is coming out into Rise of Kingdoms Echo Canyon, and in this video, we're going to go over a match of Echo Canyon, everything we've learned on our first match. Trying out this game, it's a 5v5 domination style game in which you take your troops out to the field and duke it out in the open field to dominate the map, gain points, and beat the other team. Everything you need to know about the early mechanics right here, so sit back, slap a like on the video, and let's go. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Champions of Olympia is the name of this event. And man, it's a fun one. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to release a few extra videos that are going to give you all the nitty-gritty information, the details about this event, the mechanics, the skills, the commander choices, strategy, and everything along the way. So you want to be subscribed to the channel down below, and of course you want to slap a like on this video, and if you don't want to, you should still do it. Massive shout out to Lilith Gaming. Thank you for inviting me to test out this game mode, and especially to Rusty Leo. As a community manager, he's someone that should have been there from the beginning. After Jetblade left, we needed someone like Rusty, and he's doing an amazing job at being a community manager. Y'all might think he isn't, and y'all might have lost faith in it, but I'm telling you, he's a good thing. Thank you, Rusty. You're the man. Anyway, a 5v5 domination style game mode. What does that exactly mean? Each team member is going to be able to pick 3 commander pairings, and the types of troops that come within the pairings depends on the primary commander. You don't get to pick the troops. Each commander comes with a predetermined set of troops, and as you might have seen, Atel Takeda come with cavalry like we expected. Jiang comes out with cavalry, but Trajan had mixed troops. For example, we really didn't know what we were doing, so I kind of went with a buffer, debuffer, and 2 damage dealers, and I was like, let's hope and pray. As our team filled up, my boy Boba, Shinchi, Azia from Lilith, and Chisgule were on the team, and man, we were going at it. The way this works is once you pick your 3 teams, and this is the troops that came with Trajan, then you have the option to pick at the bottom a set of skills that you will be able to use throughout the match. You can customize your main skill as well as other 2 skills on top of it, which come in very handy throughout the match. And we're not going to go into too much nitty-gritty details because I'm going to show you all the skills that are currently available and how that works. For the record, what you're seeing here is the early stages, well, later stages of the first iteration of this game mode. Anything can change in here. I wouldn't say that, they're going to change the whole game mode, but definitely be aware that some tweaks and changes might come along by the time this comes out. We've helped them test a few things, and obviously some of the feedback we gave them is probably going to go back into a little tweaking and customizing and stuff like that, so bear with us. So the team of 5 is being set, and we are just about ready to rock and roll. Once all 5 teammates are readied up, you then go into a queue to find an enemy. This is kind of like if we go into looking into a very popular game out there, a MOBA game, this reminded me a lot of League of Legends, and you're about to see how much it really did. One of you guys actually in the stream yesterday said this looks like League of Legends, and I couldn't agree more, except that it's not like a MOBA, it's more like a domination game. What does domination mean? Domination is when there are specific areas in the map that you need to be in, you need to hold them for a little bit, and then you capture them for your team, and from there on out, every single moment that area is belonging to your team, you're going to be gaining points. In this specific instance, there are 5 total areas: left, right, top, bottom, and middle, and each team spawns either on the left or on the right and start moving around to try to conquer their buildings. In our game mode, the way it worked then, each building was 10 points, and so you could get a total of 50 points, I think, per second or something like that, and it went all the way to nothing if you lost all buildings. As you can see, straight up League of Legends style, you're ready up in the lobby to make sure everybody is good to go, and once everybody readies up, the match begins. You have your starting zone in which you will start, as well as where you will spawn once your troops die off. And from there, all hell breaks loose. A 10-second countdown before we go. You can see the layout of the screen. You can see on the screen not only the skills that you can use at the bottom right corner, but also your marches and exactly what's in them, how strong they are, what they have, and all that good stuff. And on the left side, you have your teammates and which one of their troops is alive, what's their status, and all that good stuff. A 10-minute match where, as you can see, once you get into this flag area, it starts going to your team's color. There's a bar up there that you can fill all the way to the either left or right, depending on the team you're in. And that essentially is how much health, quote unquote, your zone has to your color. At this point, for example, that flag is full blue, which means if a red march comes in to try to dominate it, they would have to stand there, get that bar to go all the way to the middle, and then to the red side. That's how essentially you can buy a little bit of time in between flags and stuff like that for you to get back there, or just to cause a little bit of a delay on the other team picking up a flag. As you can see, a middle fight was already happening, and this is all about open field fights. Now, one of the skills that we popped was an insane speed boost, which we didn't know at the time, but it was super, super helpful. You can see my marches just flew by. What you're seeing on the screen is not only a circle in the middle where you get the points, but there's also a small circle right next to it. That small circle is a healing spot. If you stand in that healing spot for 20 seconds, and remind you, it was 20 seconds the time we were playing this. These numbers can be changed and tweaked depending on feedback and stuff like that. If you stand in that circle for 20 seconds, your marches will fully heal. If you lose a march, not a big deal. There is a cooldown for your marches, and once the cooldown is over, they pop back in the starting zone and you can move them freely just like you did before. Overall, the number one goal in this game is to gain as many points as humanly possible. And the way you do that is through conquering buildings. In this first match, nobody had a clue what was going on, and we got a little bit lucky. I can tell you that the next few matches, Mr. John Wick went extra John Wick, and we literally waited like 5 minutes per match for him to go over every possible permutation and statistic and ability and capability and all that. Like, people on his team are like, sorry, like, he's strategizing. Like, we can't do anything about it. We're letting him strategize. The man strategized for like 5 minutes per time, and they indeed ended up winning all the rest of the matches with the exception of this one. That's why I'm showcasing the one we won. I'm kidding. We're going to show the rest of them in another video as well. But anyway, as we're marching through, we didn't know at the time that you could stand in the circle and heal. And so I'm marching with half-dead troops. That is not necessarily what you want to be doing. There are different skills and different sets of abilities within this game that are very, very, very cool. One of them, which is the most overpowered one in the game, is literally the one that I have right there with the crossed swords, which is a tower. I didn't know at the time how to use it. Apparently, once you have it, all you got to do is you click on a march, and then that march has a tower capability. And what that tower does is it converts your troops into a tower. Yep. Now you are a building. Your troops go into the building. Now you're quote unquote garrisoning, and you can put your tower inside the circle of the building, and that will count toward as a regular march in the circle. Why are marches in the circle important? When there's one march of each team inside the circle, the bar of domination will not move at all. The more of your marches there are on the inside the circle, the more that bar will move. The team that has the most marches inside the circle at the time of attempting to take it over will be the ones that will get the building. So for example, in this scenario, if the building is, I believe it's currently blue, as long as there are more red marches than there are blue in there, it'll eventually tick towards the blue side, and the other way around. Overall, this game mode is fun as all hell. You can see your teammates on the side. You can see what their status is, how they're doing, what's going on. I believe Shinji got destroyed out there. The first time he really didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing either. Well, I got destroyed as well. As you can see, all my marches gone for 30 seconds, which is a lot for a 10-minute march. But anyway, I'm sure we gave that feedback to Lilith, and I'm sure they're going to find a way to make these cooldowns a little bit more feasible. As we have our buildings and we come back into action in about 15, 14, and 18 seconds, and that mood changed as I'm talking. But anyway, the match continues. The blue team has 3 buildings in its favor, while the red team is currently holding on to 2. This gives us a 30 points per second compared to the 20 points per second, and we were cruising through. We were not in the lead at this point, but we definitely were gaining grounds really quickly. As you saw briefly, there is a stats page that will tell you your kills, that'll tell you your deaths, and your assists on killing. There is a whole set of statistics that you can see. Damage dealing will come in the future, I'm assuming, and stuff like that. So it's going to be really cool to see how the stats affect KD ratios and things like that in this game mode. Overall, my first impression was, oh boy, this is a lot of fun. And I see so much potential in this. And I've already told this to Lilith. What they need to do is they need the ability to allow you to create a custom team with 4 teammates, create leagues, create tournaments, create stats pages. As you can see, when I clicked on my march, there was and I went on a complete tangent, right? When I clicked on my march, there was a tower type of icon. If I clicked it, which I hadn't seen at the time, it would tower up my boys. So in this scenario, we have 3 buildings, and I'm trying to figure out which side am I going to go to, who I'm going to go help, and what the heck is going on. My speed skill is already on, and therefore I knew that, I can go anywhere I need to go. And I was trying to figure out which side is the right side while we were all communicating in voice chat. I may have just not been paying too much attention, trying to figure out like what's going on, who's doing what, and how cool is this. We were in the lead, 3 minutes remaining, but now 3 buildings to the red team and 2 to ours. And ya boy Gekko is sitting back just defending this building, making sure that nobody takes it and it's secured for our side. But when I realized, nobody's coming my way and we really need to start gaining points because they have taken the lead yet again, this was when I was like, all right, it's time to go down below, try to get that bottom tower. Rotations in this game are going to be crucial. Deciding which way you go and kind of what your strategy is going to be crucial. There were 2 different strategies we attempted. Some of them were more grouping together and going together. Others were spreading around, not marching 3 marches together, marching 2 marches, marching 1 march per place, leaving a march behind. There is a tower right there. At the time, we had no clue what that tower was, but it did stupid amount of damage. I didn't know that was a march. That's the crazy part. It took me a few matches to realize that this was really 3 marches, and we dropped a little marching tune, aka, I don't know what the heck that is. That's a bunch of meteors that do a ton of damage. That killed the tower, and from there, I was like, all right, we get rid of the archers first. We got calves. We get rid of the archers real quick. We go for Trajan. Probably not the best idea, but it worked out fairly well. There is 2 of him and 3 of us, and as you can see, the red bar is slowly fading in my way. As above it, you also see a 1-1 marker. That 1-1 marker says that essentially there's 1 of each march in the circle. That's right. My other 2 marches were not in the circle at the time. I wasn't noticing it. That sucked. But once I did notice it, my Trajan moved in, and I moved in my Jiang as well. I completely butchered his name. And the 3 against 2 allowed me to offset this building to become a gray building. And then within a few moments, it also becomes a blue building. Now, again, in this whole process, he towers me, which is like, WTF, why would you do that? And I was not really aware of what to do. If I had known all of this, I might have not gone too crazy on him. At this stage, someone else came here to help me. I don't see who it is. Apologies for that. And so he was holding and securing this building solidly while I went for the first time to try to heal. The timer started ticking, and once the 20 seconds ended, my Trajan was fully healed. At the same time, Jiang was there coming on his way back. As you can see, I wasn't doing too good. My statistics were terrible. I mean, come on. Farmer Gekko doesn't know how to fight on the open field. Does he know how to fight in Echo Canyon? I don't think so. A minute remaining in the match, we were clearly in the lead, and the likelihood of us losing was very, very low. It was a great first match, and we had a ton of fun. I am going to leave this video in here. We're going to watch the last few moments of it, and then we're going to head out of here. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much. This is just a tip of this, of what's about to come from this game mode. In the next couple of videos, like I mentioned, I'm going to show you all the skills, all the different combinations that you can pick. I'm going to give you a little bit of tips and advice on strategy, as well as which commanders you should consider. In this specific scenario, we had all commanders available. Well, a few of them were locked in a very weird way, but we're not so sure whether your own commanders are the ones that get picked into this, or you can pick any commanders and they're all the same level. It would be kind of cool if that's the case, but if it's your commanders, then you got to figure out with what you got how you make the best out of it. And for the record, you don't need to have the latest and greatest, because fighting on the open field is important. But as you will find out, there are other ways to make a ton of points in this game mode without even having the strongest, best marches out there. For now, I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. I appreciate you listening to you. Slap the like on this video. You hit that subscribe down below, and see you tomorrow with more of this game mode, more explanations, more information, and some tips and tricks along the way. I'll see you sooner rather than later. Take care and have a good one. Peace. And as it was MVP, freaking Lilith.